All right, let's start with the big story that we are tracking on Wion at this hour. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in South Korea for his two-day visit. Now, during his visit, the two countries will be seeking to enhance cooperation in diverse areas, including trade and investment. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in fact, was greeted by members of the Indian community who cheered in rapture upon his arrival. So the members of the Indian community burst into very loud cheers as they saw the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi walk up to them. And also, Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson Ravish Kumar took to Twitter and has said that the visit actually will strengthen India's special strategic partnership with South Korea and also add dynamism to the Act East policy. Now, ahead of his visit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has described South Korea as an important strategic partner for India's key initiatives such as Make in India ahead of his second trip to the nation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will also be honoured with the Seoul Peace Prize from the Seoul Peace Prize Cultural Foundation during his visit. Now, the visit comes less than a year after President Jae-in visited India. So this is an important and a significant visit by the Indian Prime Minister to South Korea. Remember, this visit comes a year after the South Korean President Moon Jae-in had visited India last year. Now, on the agenda will be trade talks, improving the bilateral trade relations between the two nations. And these are live visuals that we are in fact getting from Seoul. And there are several aspects in terms of which cooperation is expected to be extended between the two nations.
Companies in India. And Bengaluru is famously known as India's Silicon Valley. If the startup environment in India, which is growing rapidly with outstanding talent and active policy support in India, is connected with technology of Korean companies and creative ideas of Korean youth, we may be expected to build the world's best exemplary startup ecosystem. I think the opening ceremony of the India-Korea Startup Hub, which is to follow Prime Minister's keynote speech, is the first step toward realizing such cooperation.
All right, so the Indian Prime Minister is expected to speak at the South Korea-India Business Forum in Seoul, so we can expect the Prime Minister to speak in just a bit. But this of course, is a significant visit by the Indian Prime Minister to the South Korean capital, where he is seeking to extend ties with the Korean nation. Remember, this, of course, comes at a time when India is expanding in a very concerted manner its trade and other strategic relationship with members of the Southeast Asian nations, and South Korea, considering the economic and the technological powerhouse that it is going to be a very significant nation to expand ties in that region. So the Prime Minister, as a part of his meetings, will be holding discussions in terms of cooperation over science and technology, in terms of joint research, ranging from basic to advanced sciences. So these are some of the issues that will be on the agenda.
For your deep interest in Korea and for visiting Korea with your precious time. My deepest gratitude goes to all of
All right, so we'll be tracking the developments very closely, and we will go back to that as soon as the Prime Minister starts to speak. But in the meanwhile, let's shift our attention to the other big story that we're tracking on Wion, where the Delhi visit of the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman was being very closely watched by the global world powers. At the end of the two-day state visit, India and Saudi Arabia agreed on the need to put pressure on countries that back terror and also called on such states to dismantle terrorism infrastructure. Now, Mohammed bin Salman said, and I quote, "We would like every kind of cooperation with India, especially in intelligence sharing." The Saudi Crown Prince lauded Prime Minister Narendra Modi's quote-unquote consistent efforts since May 2014, including the Prime Minister's personal initiative to have friendly relations with Pakistan. Now, the end of MBS's two-day India visit, New Delhi and Riyadh also exchanged no less than about 5 memorandums of understanding on national investment and infrastructure, tourism and housing. Now, Saudi Arabia has also announced an investment of a whopping and a jaw-dropping $100 billion in areas of energy, refining, petrochemicals, infrastructure, agriculture and manufacturing.